I don't care about Taiwan. The only bit I'm really debating is the Philippines. Although it hasn't been really colonized yet. So I think I'm just going to stick it like this and just keep the raiding outposts. We did take a fair amount of damage to the combat fleet, but never mind. So now the raiding can begin. Also, can we embrace manufactories? We could actually embrace both, and you know what? I think it's time. So we're going to take out loans to get to about 3,600. I think that's what we're going to need. Then we're going to embrace printing press, because screw waiting for that any longer. And then also manufactories. Boom! We are now up to date. So let's start teching up. And that is how you catch up in a hurry. (1919-21). Comparing that to, say, Malacca, who's 1821-22. Actually, Malacca's much more modern than I expected. We can go up to Asian Musketeers. Banner Cavalry is still the best. And then Swivel Cannon. A couple of upgrades. And also a new idea group. So, we have currently got 2 admin, a military, and a diplo. So this has got to be either a diplo or military. Diplo would probably be either trade or espionage. Whereas military would be plutocratic or naval or quality. I think I'm going to go espionage just so I can get privateers, however. Or naval maritime. It's got to be naval. Naval maritime for that plus 50% blockade privateer efficiency. Yeah, it's got to be naval. And then after this, maybe espionage. Just to go full pirate. So now we just need to core both of those locations, build a shipyard so we can get repairs done more quickly. And in fact, just we have no money. And we are still losing money. We're still rooting out corruption. Yeah, a little. I think I can stop that. We have become a great power! Ming is no longer a valid rival. Ah, you know things have turned around when you eclipse Ming. We're 7th. We're actually more ahead of time than Spain. And we're quite a long way ahead of Vijay. Well, actually, no, if Vijay gets printing press, then they would overtake us. So we need to actually grow a bit. Naval maritime espionage. Lots of people describe those as the 3 worst ideas in the game. But this is Mordred and he does things differently. Yeah, exactly. I maintain that maritime is one of the strongest, if not the strongest idea set in the game. And I can't believe that people think that it's not. You've lost a unit. Yeah, you have. You've lost an infantry. Right, well, time for me to go raiding then. Seeing as we can. And you're going to jump on the ships and we'll send you back to Japan just so you can get some new troops. And you need a general to start drilling. I do wish there was a hotkey for raiding. And now I'm going to be pissing the Ottomans off because I'm going to be constantly raiding them. Oh yeah, Korean rebels. I forgot about you. Well, actually, the army's on the way home, so let's have you deposit those troops right there. Just came from that direction. So let's go this way. I have more sailors than I have manpower. Crikey. Diplomatic move. Diplomacy between nations is often affected by random factors, such as both sides involved. Most of the time, these factors are beyond the control of the foreign ministers involved. I'm going to take the Diplo point, thank you. So I think the next war is going to be against Malacca, which will draw in the Ottomans. Okay, I think that all of that stuff is raided. Proliferation of the musket. As firearms have grown commonplace in our old regiments of elite troops no longer fills the same functions as the sharpshooters and pioneers. They've done much to develop our armies over time and they will now be dispersed amongst the other regiments. Standardized uniforms. And, right, I am revoking that embargo, and then we are going to be go after Vijay now. I think we need to go after Vijay, take Ceylon off of them. And Malacca is by far the most profitable trade region in this area. Except for Coromandel, which we'll need to reach eventually. But I don't have any ports over there right now, so that would be rather more difficult. For naval nations, you have to go naval maritime or you're mad, surely. You should, if you want to get the most out of them. But I would still imagine that a lot of people playing as, for example, Britain wouldn't, for some reason. But then in all, like, for example, in most of the multiplayer games which I've commentated on, with the exception of the last Britain's just been terribly played. I know that a lot of people had problems with the attitude of the British player, but man, he played them well. Just constantly manipulating people, like that is an island nation's strength. Don't go toe to toe with other nations. Screw with them. And the best way you can do that is with naval maritime, because that gives you so many tools to do it with, and espionage too. Are you allowed to upgrade government rank? Duchy, Kingdom, Empire as a pirate republic. If not, then 1,000 development might to go to an empire might be a good target for the next while. I think we're already an empire because we formed Japan. Yeah, we are. Government rank empire. We are a grand pirate confederacy. Britain often has enough naval power anyway and doesn't need the ideas. I mean, maritime isn't so much to increase their naval power, it's to give them more light ships so they can manipulate more trade and privateer more people. Naval, granted, you don't necessarily have to have, but if you do take naval maritime, then you're just that much better at blockading and privateering people because of the policy. And privateering people, especially in multiplayer, is such a powerful tool. Because you can say, yeah, you might be able to beat me in a war, but I will be constantly destroying your economy in the peacetime. And peacetime generally lasts longer than wartime. And you can just blackmail people. I will remove my privateers if you pay me 20 ducats a month subsidies. And then you kind of want naval just to reinforce your ability to really do damage. You can try to come after me, but I will sink your entire fleet. And then blockade your entire coastline and drive up the war exhaustion. Come at me, bro. Britain already has 33% blockade efficiency. They could get even more. More blockade efficiency means you need to use less ships to blockade. Which is very useful because then you can have them off doing trade stuff still. Okay, so this guy we are re-electing, so we're going to keep him. Oh, of course, and the higher my power projection, the more Republican tradition I'm generating as well. That's one facet of power projection I keep on forgetting about. Privateer Australia and the land party thing was hilarious. Privateer Australia? When was that? Usually if you're strong enough to blackmail people, you're also probably strong enough that they won't be able to touch your islands anyways. Maybe. It's just the application of soft power in a hard power situation. Because generally, you want to threaten them to get something out of them without actually applying that many resources to it. So if you can say, I will threaten you with my fleet and you pay me 20 ducats a month, that's good for you because I'm not blockading you, and it's good for me because I'm getting the money and I can also send my fleet off somewhere else. Oh, last year in the Grand Islan. Gotcha. I never actually watched that. Probably should. Isn't that supposed to be in like a week? The next one. Need to keep an eye on those rebel forces. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how things are looking, although you still need one additional soldier. And I will need to create a third, possibly even a fourth stack. Yeah, we can actually afford 4 stacks now. November the 7th, yeah, I thought so. Fathom Seek, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Because I know one of the organisers from ParadoxCon was saying, okay, I just finished ParadoxCon, now I need to start preparing for Grand Islan. One of these years I'd love to be able to go to that, because I think it would be a real blast. 2 years ago they did offer cheaper tickets to content creators, but it was still way too expensive for me. because that thing is not cheap. Sulu has been cored. Let's go. Oh, do we want to state this? Yeah, may as well. It's not like I'm going to be short. And then I would very much like to build a fort in Sulu. So we're going to get rid of the temple. We're going to get rid of the marketplace. We'll probably in time upgrade the shipyard. And then we'll basically be doing the same thing here. £540 for a ticket plus travel costs to Poland is a lot of money. Exactly. What are the benefits of playing as a pirate? Money. Lots and lots and lots of money. As a pirate you can raid coasts, which is a brilliant source of cash every 10 years. It's just a really big injection. Plus you get just some really nice bonuses. For example, plus 50% naval force limits and 33% chance to capture enemy ships. Like, I've not built a ship for a very long time. And although I did just lose a bunch of them, admittedly, I can just go into war with somebody again, looking at you, Ming, and just do all your ships again. In fact, when is my truce with you finished? Oh, is my truce with you up already? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, it is. And this time we're doing a proper trade conflict, so this is all about blockades. So, let's go blockade them. This does actually mean that I need to pull you guys back to the mainland. In case they try to attack my Korean holdings. Oh, and I could block... Hold on. I can raid you? Really? Okay. Means I'm gonna have to go all the way up here and then start block... Oh, actually I could raid... Hold on. I'm gonna blockade with those ships. I'm going to raid with these. Not the most efficient, but that doesn't really matter to me right now. Hell, I could even blockade with the transports. Which is actually super, super tempting. Like I need them for anything else. Malacca has rivaled me. Okay. Raiding regardless of religion, yes. Oh, you're not blockading there. In that case, we need to go here and then up to the top bit. Did Ming have any other colonies anywhere else? Because I know he owned these two provinces up here, but we've already taken those. Raiding, raiding, raiding! Getting all the money to pay all the loans. Plus 3% trade... plus 3% professionalism. Wow, why was that so hard to say? It shouldn't have been. $96 ducats. Cha-ching! 54. This is the big one. 106. Lovely jubbly. 56. 73. 93. 38. 45. Can't reach that. And then back over to the Philippines to raid all of Brunei. So let's go... Oh, what's that? The Anti-Christian Edict. No. I wanted to... pay loans off. Okay, cool. So is this a 100% blockade? 99%. Wow, yeah, I guess. Actually, you may as well just continue privateering, because I don't actually need you here. So you go and privateer Malacca and continue increasing that income. Oh, that's not me fighting. That's somebody else fighting. One of the greatest and richest men in Japan has died without an heir. He was a well-known patron of arts and religion. Ah, 50% off. Stability guy. I don't think I can level you up, though, because you're a different culture. So I'll take the money. And that's going to pay off another loan. And the other thing I needed to do was fire you, so I could get someone who's actually my culture so I could promote them. Some of the devs from Paradox formed Australia and chose to play as Australia, as they basically bullied everyone by pirating them to death. They started as Switzerland, managed to get a coast, started colonising, then they got threatened by France-Italy alliance, they agreed to release and play as Australia, and then let their homeland be conquered. They then got naval access from Italy's enemies and privateered them to death. Italy lost almost all of its trade money because of it. Wow! And that's a lot of money. Italy was flurry-worry and he was complaining a lot when the Genoa-Venice trade notes just disappeared to privateers. I'm not surprised. I mean, the more of a monopoly that you have in a trade node, the easier it is to privateer. Particularly when you're up against someone who's actually got a lot of privateering efficiency anyway. And it is really difficult to defend against. I think that is one of the areas that they are going to look at. I mean, we discovered that 2 years ago when we did the Pale Pirates. No, it was before that. It was when Ben Magnus was Milan and I was Genoa, and we privateered Overhaul. And it's really difficult to defend against privateers because pirate hunting is just not that effective. Like, there's no way of increasing pirate hunting efficiency. Everyone I fight just has these horrible problems after I'm done with them. It's really unfortunate for them. Okay, so I am going to be demanding a lot of money and also war reparations. And this will also need to be another fort. Did we ever build the fort up here in the north? We did. Oh, you know what else I need to do? I need to change the laws. So you should be protect trade. You should be protect trade. So should you. You can be just turned off. Protect trade. Off. Off. Because we've already spread all the technologies. We don't need to do that anymore. Trade power. Off. Off. Protect trade. And now the amount of money we're making should go up dramatically. Because having this many edicts in play is kind of expensive. Yeah, significant. And this hasn't actually recalculated the trade income boost either. Trade just went up by 11 ducats. Nice. Boom. And we can tech up in Diplo, which I would love to do. Awesome. Maybe you should offer them a How Not to Collapse in 10 Easy Steps course for their war reps. I mean, it's something, it's a service we would gladly offer, if only they would take us up on it. Conflict of court and country. L'état c'est moi for Bavaria. Absolute rulership. We are so nearly caught up. This is awesome. We're really not that far behind. We're basically just one idea group behind in terms of tech. I'm pretty happy with this. Oops, Zulu separatists are about to trigger, so we'd better go and sail over there and stop them. The Bastion in Sulu was just completed though, so good timing there. Very good timing. Just keep re-electing the same guy. He's now a 464. 49 years old, not too shabby. Truce with Molowa ended. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to need the one stack to go and deal with those rebels, so we'll be ready to shift over there when it's time. Oh, treasure fleets! Phenomenal! Stole 24 ducats from the 100 that Portugal was bringing in from Australia. Cool. I do wonder if the devs added pirate republics to the game just because they had so much fun doing it as Australia. Possibly.